What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So what we're going to start on now is something I've been wanting to start on for over 9 years now. That would be the restoration of the Indy Fiero. For those of you that don't know, this is Indy Fiero number 64 and parade car number 4. I got this thing over 9 years ago. Got it in September of 2011. Got it non-running. I paid $400 for the car. Cost me $500 to get it shipped here to Michigan from Ohio. Put a fuel pump in it. Tires, went through some of the brake lines. I've put like 10 miles on this since I owned it. What else did I do? Oh, I did the Indy Fiero seat covers because it had gray seats or brown seats or whatever in it before. But yeah, we're going to completely go through this car because, as you saw in my previous video, she's rusty. Need a light. There you go. You can see how rusty it is. Both trunk corners are about that bad. Pull this one back. That is the plastic fender liner. We've also, up here by the battery, got some rust that's been painted over. The battery tray has been replaced. Wiring harness is a mess. The car has 152,000 miles on it, I believe. This engine is noisy, it smokes. So that's going to come out. And we have the 47,000 mile Iron Duke that came out of the 3800 supercharged wide body 84 from when I put that engine in. So this engine runs perfect. So we're going to go through, clean it up, reseal it. I actually have a new timing gear kit for it. I have gasket kits for it. So we'll reseal, we'll clean everything, we will reseal everything. We're going to paint stuff. We'll swap the pace car air filter housing and valve cover because I have actually repainted those and re-decaled those. They're just dusty. Those will go on this engine. This car does have AC. This car had working AC, so that compressor is good. That'll all get hooked up in the pace car. I'm thinking I'll probably go through, this has the 3-speed automatic trans. We'll probably go through the transmission, rebuild it. It shifts fine, but I'd kind of like to put a shift kit in it. Not that it's going to really matter with a 90 horsepower Iron Duke. But anyway, it'd be nice to do. Also, this thing here has hooker headers on it. So I got to decide if I want to clean those up and install those on this engine, or if I just want to run this thing factory 100% stock. This is going to be a 99% factory new restoration. So I went through, I found all my parts that I have for this. We had the rest of the brake line kit to install. I have a new fuel, one of the new fuel lines for it from the Fiero store. We have rear tie rods, inner and outer. I think these are Rodney Dickmans. I have all new brake lines for it. I believe I put new calipers and stuff on this car back when I got it. We have an alternator. We have sway bar links for the front. We have polyurethane bushings for the suspension. What else do we have? Upper lower ball joints for the front, rear wheel bearings, alternator if I didn't say that already. Got the rear view mirror because that fell off of it. All kinds of different parts and pieces for it. I got brand new black window switches for it. Brand new nose badge for it. Bunch of stuff down here for tuning it up and resealing it. We got radiator hoses, we have engine mounts, we have New battery cables. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff for this car. Trans mounts, Delco radio for it. Got rear struts for it. I have to figure out what I did with the front shocks. I may have installed those on the wide body. I don't remember, or they're around in the shop somewhere. I also have to figure out what I want to do with the dash, because as you see here, dash corners pretty well gone on both sides. I have a dash hanging right there on the wall that has good corners, but it's got a giant crack and a piece missing up by the center vent up under the windshield. And when I was going through stuff, I found this. This is one of the dash overlays from the Fiero store. So I could install that, paint that to match, and install that in this car. Oh, I also got a new left side taillight because I stole that for the wide body when I was fixing that up. This one, the right side's got a little crack out of it, but I have about 15 right side taillights and I didn't have any left side taillights, so it's good to have one of those. I'm sure there's other odds and ends I'm going to need for this car. I did do new sunroof rails on this back 8 years ago, but the seal kind of sticks up, so I kind of want to get a new seal for it. Windshield's in good shape. Front end of it's in good shape too, as far as the frame and stuff goes, but I think our first step on this is going to be jack it up, get the wheels and tires off of it, obviously put it on some jack stands, take the fender liners out of it. I want to get the rear clip off of it, bumper off of it, deck lid off of it, and I've got to get in there and I got to really see how bad these frame rails are, because I have a feeling that they're not going to be great. I do have a couple upper frame rails over here on the wall. I just have to get them down and weld them in. I'm going to either have to make my own trunk corners or find somebody that's maybe parting out a car that's been hit in the front, where they can just cut the back part of the car off and send it to me, and then I can weld those pieces in and redo the seam sealer. I don't know, I got to decide what I want to do there. So this is going to be a winter-long project, but hey, after 9 years, I probably should get on it. Like I said, this will be a 100%, well, 99% factory restoration. As far as Fieros go, I mean, it might be a little more collectible being a pace car and being an actual parade car that was there for the month of the Indy 500. I always wanted a pace car, so why not have a project? Also, probably going to be painting this myself. You can see the paint on it. It's horrible. I think it sat outside for a while. So yeah, the wheels need to be restored, so tires will come off. I'll probably sandblast those down, then repaint them all, polish the lips. So yeah, I'm sure I have more parts than what I have found over there for it. I just have to dig through the rest of my stash. But I guess for now, let's get the car jacked up and on some jack stands and get the wheels and tires off, get the fender liners and the bumper and all that off, and see what we got. All right, guys, I got good news. I found the front shocks. They're on the car. Apparently I forgot I put the shocks on. I did the flexible brake lines here in the front, and I put the new calipers and stuff here on the front. Obviously, that was 8 years ago, but that's where that stuff's at. I had a lug nut on the driver's side rear strip out, so I got to bring an extractor home from work to get that off, so I couldn't get that wheel off. But I got the inner fender liner here off. You can see the front doesn't look too bad. No real major rust anywhere in here. Even down here at the bottom and where the door hinges and stuff are, where the suspension bolts on, it all looks pretty good. Underneath looks pretty good. Needs a steering stabilizer. And these bars are a little rusty, but otherwise it doesn't look too bad in the front. Even the core support there for the radiator doesn't look rusted out. And that's rusted out on the wide body. I gotta get a new one for that car. But if we go back to the rear, it's really bad. Obviously I'll be able to tell more once I get the rear clip off, but it's kind of knocked the wind out of my sails a little bit here. I would really like to fix this car up, but it's going to be a ton of work. So this is going to kind of be a shorter video, I guess, and I will show you guys what I got here, and then down in the comments you can let me know if you would fix it up or what you would do. Obviously it's not going to be a 5-minute project, but it would be nice to fix this car up. But let's hang this light up here and then I'll turn you around. You can see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So obviously this is where the battery tray's at, and this is rusty. It's rusty back in here. Must have had a battery that leaked at some point in time. So here's a big hole there. Let's get the light up in here a little better. Big hole there. Upper frame rail here isn't too bad. It gets a little thin right up there. This is a big loose chunk. So there's a hole right there. And if we follow it back, it's pretty Swiss cheese right there. And then obviously, low ceiling. I don't know. I think the passenger side's worse than the driver's side. Obviously I can't get the wheel off, so I can't get the inner fender piece off. Got a lot of dirt and rust on the floor. And then here's the upper frame rail. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Like, that's all solid. It's solid underneath here too, where the subframe goes through all along. So I don't know. Those of you who don't live in the Rust Belt area are gonna go, oh my God. But for those of us that live in this area, welcome to Michigan. I don't know, I guess it's a little worse than I thought it was gonna be, but I guess it's not quite as bad as it could be. However, my kids could fit through this hole. Like I said, the driver's side has less missing here. And the lower frame rail doesn't actually look that bad. It's more the upper. So I'm gonna have to get the clip off of it, I guess. But like I said, I gotta get some tools and bring them home from work to get the driver's rear wheel off. Subframe doesn't look too terribly bad either, but I can get another subframe if I needed one. But it doesn't look too rotten or anything like that. I think I could probably grind it, clean it up. Need some bushings. But yeah, clean it up and paint it, and that'll be all right. Even up here, it doesn't look, it's still pretty thick. That's more surface rust. It's just, you know, right there in the upper frame rail that is not good. So, guess I'll end this off here. Sorry you got 15 minutes of me yapping and 2 minutes of me doing some actual work, but I don't know, leave in the comments what you would do. Like I said, obviously this car doesn't need to be done in 5 minutes, but do you think a Indy Fiero that was a parade car was a worthy project to completely restore? And if you do, and you know where I can get some not rusty parts that somebody can send me that I can weld in here, let me know in the comments section. But yeah, I'm gonna end this off here, guys. Leave me a comment, leave me a like, tell me if I'm crazy or not. If you want to follow along with this project, go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, I will see you guys on the next one.